I've started the recording for the YouTube peoples. So hi YouTube peoples. So I'm going to start with the cutscene. Now, this cutscene doesn't actually take place in lore. It's more of an example of what's happening in the story.
We thought we were indestructible. The Lords of Iron. We swore we would do anything to protect the last city. Some of us paid the ultimate price. I am all that remains. Stand with me, Guardian. It is time to avenge my brothers and sisters. Prove yourself worthy, and the Iron Lords will rise again.
Okay. So yes. Few things we have to cover before we go into the first mission. Firstly, okay, we have the Fallen. So, I've talked a bit about the Fallen. I've even mentioned that the Traveler visited them before it visited us. They worshipped the Traveler as the Great Machine, and until it abandoned them, of course. And servitors, which I've mentioned, have a sort of symbiotic relationship with them. The servitors are actually their only source of their golden age technology from when the Traveler was with them. And servitors create the ether which they need to live. So yeah. And that's a big thing about that. They have an entire part, or every fallen house, so the House of Devils, the House of Kings, the House of Wolves, all of the houses have a specific subset called the Splicers that are dedicated to usually just creating new technologies for them, such as artificial limbs or respirators. Anything they can, any technology they can splice with themselves to make themselves better. This is just part of their culture. It's not weird to them, the idea of being part cybernetic. It's just commonplace. It makes them better, is how they think. Okay. Fallen, out of the way. Next. When back when the Traveler first, sent out the ghosts, when it first chose the Lightborn, and I use that term because they weren't guardians. It chose many people to be Lightborn. Not all of them good. And these were known as the Warlords. Where death followed those Warlords everywhere. They used the powers of the light against people to get an upper hand, to be Warlords. And it wasn't until one Iron Lord, the Radagast, actually brought together all the Lightborn that wanted to help, wanted to defend those from the Warlords, and created the Iron Lords. And the Iron Lords essentially became the first Guardians. They helped create what we now know as the city, but they would defend people from the Warlords. That was their goal. Unfortunately, they made one really stupid mistake. And we're going to learn about what that mistake was in this DLC. So, here we go. Here we go. I really hope it plays the cutscenes, because the cutscenes are fairly important to this story. If not, I'll have to play them on YouTube again. So there's only, as far as we know at this stage, only one Iron Lord remaining. There's actually two, but she's not part of this story. There's only one Iron Lord remaining, and he sort of kept vigil. He's now just informed us that the Fallen are making an attempt on the Iron Lord Temple, which is being left abandoned but defended.
A group of Fallen has captured Fellwinter Peak. My team and I are en route, but we won't get there in time. I need you to secure the observatory at the top. It is imperative the Fallen do not establish a foothold on that mountain.
Yeah, so the Fallen have made a sudden massive push out from the Cosmodrome. Remember how I mentioned that the Devils have been digging in the Cosmodrome for years, but we don't know what for? Well, they found what they were looking for. That's all I'll say for now.
If the Fallen are working their way up the mountain, their goal is to take Vostok Observatory.
What would the Fallen want in an abandoned outpost?
Things better left buried.
Yep. See,
There is a gondola near your location. Take it up to the observatory.
Saladin has basically told the Vanguard to give him a guardian to go secure the Iron Temple, and he's not told them why, and so it falls to us. So yeah, the Fallen are definitely here. I have the wrong gun on. While I love the sound this gun makes, it's terrible for PvE. Don't mind the invisible gun, it was loading in. No God, I hate snipers so much. No stabbing. Did I get them all? Nope. Hello? Nope. Okay. Open, please. Oh yeah, I got this ghost while I was playing Crucible.
This hasn't been activated for more than 400 years.
So, we're riding a gondola.
With this sort of reception, it might be a touch ambitious to think we can secure the entire observatory.
There's a courtyard in the rear of the facility. If you can secure that, you should be able to keep them from the Iron Temple until we arrive.
Okay, that sounds good.
Iron Temple? Like Iron Banner? Iron Lords?
Yep.
Stay focused. There's too much at stake.
The Iron Banner has been an event that Saladin's been running
Watch out!
that he says was to keep the Guardians prepared. He never told us what we were preparing for. For fuck's sake. Oi! Oh, no, hi.
I think there's more of them.
You don't say, Ghost. You don't say. Oh, fuck you too.
I don't think I like this little metal box anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't think I like the little metal box either.
Another hit like that. Jump!
Okay.
I don't understand.
Hey, Special Geek.
There's something so important up there. Why wasn't the Vanguard protecting the temple all these years?
This place and its secrets are my responsibility.
In other words, he... Honestly, pride is a big reason. And it's a big reason why the Iron Lords fell, honestly. They did good, but they cared way too much about their pride. Fuck off, you fucking repeaters. I hate those things.
You know, this is more than a few fallen. Just for the record.
We cannot afford even one to claim what lies on that mountain.
Oh, I bet special. This is a pretty hard one, honestly. A lot of the missions in this can actually be really hard. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Oh, I know what happens here. I remember this. This got me killed the first time I did this. Hi, invisible buddy! Is that all of you invisible fucks? Nope. Hi. No, there's another one. There's another hi. Okay, I think that's all of them. Oh, hi, turret. Okay, no, the turret's gone now, so that's just you, dead.
Be careful. Picking something up nearby.
You don't say, Ghost. Not that, like we just heard, like the call of a machine from hell. Wow, that should have killed a lot more of you. Oh well. Dead. Dead. There's one more of you. Where are you? Come here. Thank you. Okay. So, remember how I talked about how the devils treated... back in Vanilla, I talked about how the devils treated Sepix Prime as a god. That's thanks to the Traveler and how they worship the Traveler, and now they worship the Servitors. Well, we killed Sepix. Yeah. We killed him, and he's back.
Servitor. Sepix Prime. It's supposed to be dead. And there's something odd in the energy signature. It's not fallen, but it's regenerating.
Did you say it's regenerating? Kill Sepix Guardian. Kill it now.
You see, they found a way to bring their god back.
If that's what I think it is, the temple doors will not be strong enough to hold it back. You must destroy it before that happens. Do not let Sepix enter that temple.
Fuck you, Sepix. Come on. I'm about to have company, I'm pretty sure. Hi. Burn alive in this sunspot.
Detecting reinforcements approaching your coordinates.
Reload. Okay.
All this trouble to break into an old temple?
Meet Saladin, the last Iron Lord.
Old wolves still bite. Shiro, what's your status?
Circling around to make sure the area is clear. Be there in a sec.
Well done, Guardian. The temple is secure. Now we can...
Still not dead.
Shiro, get a lock on.
I just picked up... Wait. Multiple impacts near the wall in Sector 17.
They're attacking the sensor grid.
They must know where Siva is. Guardian, go to the Cosmodrome immediately. If Sepix escapes, the Fallen won't be our only problem.
Yeah, he is panicked as fuck. And he has pretty good reason to be once we find out why. So, we're gonna go do that now. Oh, pardon me, guys. Sorry about that. So we've gone to find out what's happening. The wall, as in the wall that protects the city, is under attack.
Lord Saladin, you said the Fallen knew about Siva, but I can't find a reference to Siva in the Vanguard database.
That's because I went to great lengths to lock it away. The records are in the Iron Temple.
Okay, but if the Fallen already know about Siva, then shouldn't we?
What you need to do now is track Sepix. If we find him, we will know the extent of the corruption.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know which scares me more. The giant catch, or whatever took a bite out of the wall.
Guardian, it's Shiro. You're gonna need some cover.
Yep.
For the Cosmodrome.
The wall of the Cosmodrome is missing a gigantic chunk, and there's a big ship here. Ow! So what you guys don't know that's happening here is over here,
We need to get through that wall.
right there, is where our corpse was when Ghost woke us up. So that's why we know this area so well, but you don't, because I can't go back to that cutscene, because it's unreplayable.
With most of the Kells gone, getting a force this large to work together is almost impossible. Saladin, you mentioned a sensor grid. Can we use that to tell how far this occupation extends?
The Fallen are irrelevant, Shiro. The only thing that matters now is finding Sepix.
Also, I forgot to mention something. Music in this DLC, also amazing. Where the fuck did that even come from? Oh, you're there. Hi! Oh, if I was just about to jump up to you, why'd you jump? Excuse me. And where's the last one? Ow! You're up here. Okay. Hi! Didn't I snipe you already? I mean, that's probably an example of why he's still alive. Was that ridiculously terrible shot? Really? Now you're dead. Abby, that's part of what Saladin isn't telling us. About how they brought Sepix back and why we need to now kill him properly and hunt him down, essentially. And once he does give us a bit of a hint, I'll tell you all about how and why and all of that. Oh my god, thank you. Oh, hi. Where'd you come from? Okay. So now...
Lots of Fallen, but still no sign of Sepix.
Yep.
What is that pattern over there? Can we take a closer look?
So yeah.
I'm picking up some strange readings. It's like what was on Sepix, but if I didn't know any better, I'd say this stuff is consuming everything around it.
That is Siva. With the proper direction, it could create anything a civilization would need. At least in theory.
Hive?
The Hive tend to keep to the dark. Something is driving them into the open.
Yep. So something's pushing the Hive out as well. You know what? Come here. Come here. Just die. Just die. What am I stuck on? Okay, so yeah, Siva. Now, we don't... I don't want to explain quite what Siva is yet. But the hint is that it's supposed to be able to create anything that a civilization needs. And if you've seen enough sci-fi, by that, you should be able to have a bit of a guess about what Siva is. Okay, I'm gonna mount up and we're gonna move on. Oh, maybe I shouldn't use this bike because that bike is made of Siva. I got it from the raid. I'll talk about that later. See, if you notice, they've been cutting up everything Just getting raw material, basically. See, even they've cut off that. Those little things are cutting up more stuff. There's more Siva. Boop. Got you.
I just lost all readings from the sensor grid. There's a monitoring station near your location. Hook into it and try to get the grid back online.
So yeah, the sensors all just went down. So we're gonna try and bring them back up. They're cutting into everything. And Siva is all over the place.
There's not enough left of the sensor grid to fix. Wait. We can pull the logs from the monitoring station. Would that be enough to figure out what these Fallen are up to?
Do it.
Something weird incoming.
Meet the devil splicers.
Fallen are different. They're augmented with some sort of technology, like Sepix.
Augmented or not, we need that sensor data.
On the bright side, these Fallen aren't coming back to life like Sepix. At least, not yet.
Yeah, you know, there is a bright side. So yeah, these are the fallen splicers. Or rather, the result of the fallen splicers. Hello, that's a lot of you.
Got everything I could out of the sensor logs.
Nice job, Guardian. But we still have to deal with Sepix.
We no longer need the servitor, Shiro. I've seen enough to know the Fallen have restarted production of Siva. Guardian, we've established a base at the Iron Temple. Join us here.
Yep. I believe he's about to explain to us what Siva is. I'd say multiplayer doesn't count because it's multiplayer. Honestly, it's actually amazing I didn't die more. I'm really proud of that game. Okay. Just going to tilt this up a bit now that I'm sitting like this. So yeah, that's fun stuff. The splicers have been mixing themselves with Siva. And I'm gonna... I believe we're gonna find out what Siva is. I don't know if it's gonna actually show the cutscene. I don't think it is, so I may need to load that up. In fact, you know what? Well, I'll get it ready. Let me just, I know it doesn't show it because I can't go to the Iron Temple and talk to him properly for the quest. So yeah, it definitely doesn't show. Rise of Iron. Okay, let me mute my desktop audio so I can go through and figure out exactly where it needs to be. For now, I'm just gonna... Oh god. That is super loud.
Your channel's locked down.
Oh, that's something. It didn't actually play the starting cutscene, which is annoying. So I'm gonna play that now as well. Okay. So first things first, we're gonna watch that. This is actually the perfect time for that because. So just give me a second. I'm gonna mute myself and make sure this is where we're up to.
My schedule is clear tomorrow.
Thank you, Bowtie. Okay, so.
This won't be the end. The double splicers add fallen to their ranks every moment. Siva is one of the many threats I hope this planet would never see again. If the splicers are seeking godhood, I doubt this will end with Siva. Splicers aren't unique.
Okay, cutscene number 1.
Do not find inspiration.
So, this is the first of the cutscenes. This is, I told you about Iron Lords. Well,
Joined with Siva.
this should give you a hint about what happened to the Iron Lords, I should say. So, let's load this up, shall we? I'm going to mute myself now.
Is contained, and hope lives. And I thought my vigil would be eternal.
And
In the years after the collapse, the world had no guardians. It had beaten, but his followers remain a threat. We must be ready.
I realize now that the dude is constantly talking behind me. I apologize. I've now muted.
In the years after the collapse, the world had no guardians. It had only Iron Lords. Immortal, fearless, we fought to protect the survivors of a once great age. Our battle was about more than crawling back from the shadows. The Iron Lords would give humanity back its future. Some know the legend, but no one truly knows how the Iron Lords died their final deaths. That was something you had to be there for, to witness, to remember, to know even heroes can die, and survival is not always a victory.
Now I am the lone sentry, and my watch is eternal, waiting for the day when whatever we disturbed awakens. The Iron Lords are gone, but our fight is far from over.
Okay. So, yeah. The Iron Lords made a very stupid mistake. You see, in the Golden Age, when the Traveler was helping us with technology, the people at Clovis Bray on Mars created SIVA. Nanites that were able to construct, they were able to consume and construct anything into anything else. They were able to create, pardon me, they were even used to create entire cities. They were used quite well. They were extremely useful. Unfortunately, when the collapse happened, SIVA and how to use it was lost. Now, the Iron Lords found out about SIVA. And the Iron Lords thought this was how they would rebuild the Golden Age. This is how they would rebuild humanity. The only problem is, SIVA, if not controlled properly, is exceedingly dangerous. If you've ever heard of the term grey goo, it's when a nanite machine is given the order to consume and replicate without any other orders. Because when that happens, all it does is consume and replicate until the entire planet is a blob of grey goo. And that's the sort of thing that would happen if SIVA was put... Basically, if it was given an order and never given the order to stop. And so Rasputin, who we've met before, decided that the Guardians, or the Iron Lords, he decided it was too risky to let the Iron Lords into the SIVA chamber, or to give the Iron Lords control over SIVA, because they didn't have the manual, so to speak. They didn't know how to use it. And they could have ended up destroying everything and everyone on the planet. So, he obliterated them. Rasputin sent down warframes and orbital death, destroying the majority of the Iron Lords. And this is thousands and thousands of Iron Lords. A couple made it to the replication chamber at Site 6, the cutscene we just saw. Because they made it that far, Rasputin gave SIVA a single order. Eliminate and immunize. Basically, he ordered it to destroy any Guardian, or at this time, any Iron Lord, anyone who'd been affected by the light who tried to get into the chamber. And that's what SIVA did. As you can see there, Yolda sacrificed herself to seal the chamber and hopefully destroy what was inside. Unfortunately, we know she's failed. And the Fallen have now got their hands on SIVA.
Something isn't quite adding up here.
So we're going to go to orbit.
Rest easy, Radagast. This burden is ours to bear now.
Okay. I'm going to mute desktop audio again, just so I can just quickly check something. Okay.